Good evening once again. My name is Michelle Umadi, dietitian Michelle, and today we will be talking about cholesterol. Let's explain the whole concept cholesterol. What is cholesterol? Good and bad cholesterol, food sources of cholesterol, and how to maintain healthy cholesterol level. Now, cholesterol is a waxy, fat like substance that is found in the cells of our body, not just in humans. We also find cholesterol in animal products. And when I say animal products, it means it's not just found in the meat that we eat. We also find cholesterol in dairies like milk, like cheese, yes, and even yogurt. We find them there, especially yogurt made from high fat milk. So, cholesterol exists in human beings, in animals, and in animal products. Basically, that is where you find cholesterol. Now, I am emphasizing this because sometimes I hear people say groundnut is high in cholesterol. I don't eat cashew nuts because it's high in cholesterol. I don't eat that because it's rich in cholesterol. No, you're getting it wrong. You're getting it mixed up. Plants do not have cholesterol. You find cholesterol only in animals and animal products. Having said that, there are brands of oils that go out there and they promote the oil by saying cholesterol free. Do you know that in some countries they don't allow them to make such claims because it's somehow misleading? It sounds as though that product, that plant oil, originally had cholesterol and the manufacturers remove the cholesterol. That is not proper. That is not right because in the first place, the plant product did not have cholesterol. The only time you should be bothered about cholesterol in oil is if you're eating lard, if you're eating oil, like they call it shanu in the north. I don't know what you know it as, the oil extracted from cows, from beef, that oil. Yes, if you use that oil to cook, I tell you, it is going to be very rich, very high in cholesterol. But when you cook with plant oils, I like you to know that they do not have cholesterol. But that is not a way of encouraging you to start drinking oil because, like Michelle said, there is no cholesterol in plants. There is no cholesterol in soy oil. There is no cholesterol in groundnut oil. There is no cholesterol in cashew nuts. No, that is not a way to motivate you to do that. Moderation is still key, and I'll tell you why. Yes, these plant oils may not have cholesterol, but when you eat them in excess, it can help your body to produce what? Cholesterol in excess. So moderation is still key. When I get to the later part of this, I will tell you how to eat moderately so that your body will not produce cholesterol in excess. But first, this voice note is to explain clearly what cholesterol is and where we find cholesterol in animal products, even in our bodies. Okay, so we have different types of cholesterol. We have the good and we have the bad cholesterol. So when you go for lipid profile tests, you will notice that the cholesterol reading is broken down into different types. You will see things like HDL, you will see LDL, you will see VLDL. All these are different types of cholesterol and how they exist. So let me help you make sense of it. First, I'd like you to know that the body produces cholesterol. Yes, your body produces what? Cholesterol. So that one is aside. Then we have the good, we have the bad. The good cholesterol is the one that is HDL, high density lipoprotein. And some of you said that, oh, I went to the hospital and the doctor said my HDL is high and my LDL is high. Whenever you hear that, you should be happy when your HDL is high. We want it to be high. Doctors want it to be high. The higher, the better. Why? Because HDL is the good cholesterol that helps your body to get rid of the bad cholesterol. So now you understand why we want it to be high. There is no doctor that will be angry when your HDL is high. You should be bothered about what? Your LDL and your VLDL. These are the bad cholesterol. These are the ones that when they are high, it can lead to what? Plaques. It can lead to the arteries of your blood pipes. I like to call that blood pipes. I think it will help you understand the concept better. The pipes in your body, when the cholesterol is high, it can now form plaques. It makes the arteries to be narrow, so blood flow will no longer be very free, and that is when it becomes a problem. So that bad cholesterol, the LDL, the VLDL, is the one we don't want to be high. Are you getting it? So there are types of cholesterol. We have the good, we have the bad. Whenever your HDL is high, do not complain. Clap for yourself. You're doing well. Now, when your LDL, which is the low density lipoprotein, and the VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, when these ones are high, then that is when the doctors are not happy. That is when you will require to go extra mile to bring this down. So for you to achieve that, sometimes your doctor will recommend prescriptions, recommend drugs, will recommend some forms of medications that can help it come down. But this is where we get it wrong. You don't depend on your medications. There are other factors you need to put in place. Number one is your diet and even your activity level. I'll talk about that later. So, but when your doctor prescribes medication, please take it. They know why they are prescribing, they know why they're saying take this medication. So when it's recommended, go ahead and take your medications. Then look at your diet. What are you eating? So since we have different types of cholesterol, we have the good, we have the bad. That also means that we have foods that can help your HDL to be high, and we also have foods that can make your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, to be high. Yes, so we have foods that help the body to produce HDL. We have foods that help LDL. That will be the next topic of discussion. That is what I will talk about next. But now I want to believe that we are clear on the different types of cholesterol so that you don't get confused again when I say HDL. Stop complaining that your HDL is high. If your doctor says HDL is high, be happy. It is good. But when your LDL is high, there is a problem. When your VLDL is high, there is a problem. Then there's the general reading of cholesterol, complete general. You see cholesterol reading. When it's high, there is also a problem. But HDL, high density lipoprotein, is good. Now we will talk about the sources. All right, so for food sources now, there are foods that can help increase the good cholesterol. Remember, good cholesterol helps the body to get rid of what? The bad cholesterol. So, as much as it lies within your power, this should always be on the high side. This should always be on the high side. It should be good. The higher, the better. That is what we want. The more the good cholesterol you have, the better for you. So, what are the foods that can help you achieve that? Avocado. Excellent. Your nuts. When we say nuts, what are we talking about? Almonds, cashew nuts, granules, walnuts. What other nuts? Don't get confused. Tiger nut is not here. I don't know why the name is tiger nut, but tiger nut is under the starchy group. It's not under the nuts that will give you these benefits. So for foods that can help your good cholesterol, your HDL, avocados, nuts, then fish is also good food that can help you to raise your good cholesterol. And when you're eating these foods, especially the nuts and the avocados, you should eat them in moderation. Don't eat too much of anything. Now, let me tell you the principle of nutrition. It says, eat a variety of foods balanced by a moderate intake of each. Don't just run with the whole idea, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good, then you abuse it. You will not get the benefits you're looking for. Moderation is key. So when you want to eat your nuts, even if you have a bottle of groundnut, a handful is okay. If you cannot exercise control, if you're like Michelle, you're like dietitian Michelle, when I have a bottle of groundnut, I will not stop eating until I have downed the whole bottle. So to help my life and to help my ministry, I do not buy the bottle. I don't buy bottle granite. If I will buy bottle granite, I'll make sure there are many people around me that can help me eat it and it will finish. If not, if I'm alone, I just respect myself and I buy the small size. I don't even buy bottle. I buy like the 15 naira or the 100 naira one, and I know I try my best to eat it even twice, today and the next day. But if you can exercise control, you can look at the bottle, just fetch a handful, then it's good for you. It's good for you. It can help you raise your HDL, which is the good cholesterol. Nuts in moderation. Remember, there are no cholesterol in nuts. They are rich in fat, but good fat. They are rich in oil, good oil. So eat it moderately and you are good to go. A handful is fine. If you're on weight loss, if you're on weight loss, if you're on weight loss, then do more of fish. Do more of fish. If you are not, then nuts, avocados can still form part of your diet. Now I have talked about how you can raise your HDL. I said avocado in moderation, half is fine, half. But if you are not on weight loss, you can finish a whole avocado pear. If you are, then just half is okay. In fact, 1/4 is what I try my best to take. So half avocado, nuts in moderation, just a handful, it's okay. Then fish very well. Fish, a lot of fish will help you to raise your HDL, which is the good cholesterol. Now, what are the foods that increase the bad cholesterol? The foods that we don't like you to eat in excess. There are foods that help the body to produce cholesterol in excess. Example, organ meat. Organ meat. What are the organ meat? Your the brain, nkwobi. You do like nkwobi? That can be a problem. Liver, kidney, intestine, shaki, roundabout. These are called organ meats. I don't know where that came from. All of a sudden, people started eating organ meat, and I hear them say, "I don't eat meat any longer. I don't eat beef." When I ask, "What do you eat?" they say, "I eat shaki, I eat liver, I eat kidney." Where did that come from? This is just like saying from frying pan to the fire itself. It's even better you're not eating the organ meat and you are eating beef. That is even better. So avoid organ meat if you can. If you cannot, if it's something you really, really enjoy, then just leave them to occasion. Maybe when you go for birthday parties, you visit your friends, but don't buy and cook with these organ meats. I know this is going to be breaking your heart for some of you, but I tell you that is the way to go. Avoid all these are very rich in cholesterol. They are rich in cholesterol, and you don't want to increase the bad cholesterol. Yes, so avoid organ meat. The egg yolks are also rich in cholesterol. So if you can eat just one boiled egg or omelette or just one, that is fine. But if you like egg like that Michelle, and you want to eat more than one, you want to eat two or three, what you can do is to remove the yolk in the second and the third and enjoy your eggs. But if you know that you were trying to control your cholesterol level, then I would advise you, please just limit it to one. That is the best thing you can do. Just one, maximum one egg yolk a day, if that is what you want to do. Why? Because egg yolks are rich in what? Cholesterol. What are other foods that are rich in cholesterol? Our meats, especially the fatty meats. When you go to the market and you see meat with those whitish parts, the fatty parts, they are rich. And let me tell you, they are sweeter. When you cook your food or your soup or your stew, they taste nicer. Why? Because fat makes food taste nice. But these ones are rich in what? Cholesterol. The fats. Remember, I described cholesterol, It's a fat-like substance, yes, waxy. All right. So when you find fatty meat, be sure that the cholesterol contents are high. When you also have pork, that is where you find cholesterol in excess. You like goat meat, especially those fatty ones that when you cook them and you leave it in the freezer, you will see fat everywhere. You are looking at cholesterol. Cholesterol is looking at you. Simple. So you're looking for foods that increase cholesterol. These are the foods that increase cholesterol. Now, these are the ones that can increase the cholesterol level directly, but there are the ones that can do that indirectly. I earlier said that you don't have cholesterol in oil, but when you eat them in excess, what happens? Your body produces cholesterol. Let me tell you, whether you eat cholesterol or not, your body will produce it. Yes, your body will produce it. So if you eat foods that are rich in cholesterol, your body will produce them in excess. If you decide to avoid foods rich in cholesterol, your body will still produce in excess. So what is the solution? Moderation is key. Do not eat these foods in excess. Eat your eggs, eat your fish, eat your lean meat. So that will be the next topic I will talk about, how you can balance it all, how you can achieve healthy HDL level, and how you can also help your body to produce just the right amount of cholesterol that it needs every single day for you to be healthy. Some tips, very few tips that can help you to balance your cholesterol levels, both the good and the bad. Remember, we have good cholesterol, HDL, which we want to be high, and we have bad cholesterol, LDL, VLDL. We want these ones to be low. Things you can do. Number one, limit your oil intake to 5 to 7 teaspoons every day. That is key. That is important. Moderation is key. Some people get disappointed when they ask, "Oh, Daisha Michelle, so what oil would you recommend? What kind of oil would you advise me to take?" And they'll be expecting Daisha Michelle to mention any oil that is not even in existence, just so that it will sound like something special, something good, something unique. Oh, they want me to say, "Oh, I want you to use canola oil. I want you to go and buy safflower oil. Oh, you need to be taking sunflower oil. Or you should buy olive oil." No, I will tell you the truth. I am Dietitian Michelle. I'll tell you what you need to hear. It's left for you to decide on what you want to do and do it. The truth is, the amount of oil you eat is actually more important than the type of oil you are taking. So if you want to use those expensive oils, good and fine. Go ahead and use them. If you feel happier, if you feel they're healthy, and if you feel that, oh, that is what you should be taking, no problem. Please go and take it. All I am saying is don't drink it because you think it is healthy. Whether you're taking canola oil or sunflower oil or safflower oil, whatever oil you're taking, limit intake to just 5 to 7 teaspoons every day. If you're overweight, 5 teaspoons is even fine. If you're hypertensive, 5 is fine a day. What it means is that if you're the one cooking or you have a caregiver, you have someone who is cooking for you, they need to do some maths. You tell them, when you're cooking my meals, my lunch don't exceed 2 teaspoons of oil, my dinner do not exceed 3 teaspoons of oil, and that's 5 teaspoons. So that is how I do that. Most times, well, I'm just mentioning lunch and dinner because most of my diet plans, my breakfast are usually cereals and pap and the rest. So I don't factor in oil used in breakfast. But I don't know the diet plan you're following. I just want you to know that you should limit your oil intake 5 to 7 teaspoons every day. Don't be like my dad. I remember I came back from school one time and they were frying everything for him. They were frying chips, frying potato, frying. I said, "What is going on here?" And he said, "It's olive oil. It's olive oil." The doctor said that if it's olive oil, I don't have to worry about it. And I said, "Daddy, please, no." That is not you may have heard something else. You must have heard something else. I know it's olive oil. I know you have bought a carton of olive oil, but your body still needs oil moderately, not in excess. You cannot be frying everything. And let me even tell you, when you fry your olive oil, you have destroyed the nutrients. When you fry, these ones are considered essential oil: olive oil, sesame oil. Yes, if you really want to do those special things, then yes, let's be looking at olive oil, sesame oil. These are very good, but you are not even supposed to cook with them. These are oil that after you are done cooking, then you put a tablespoon or two in your pot. That is how to use this oil, so you don't destroy the nutrients that you are hoping to obtain from them. Once you cook with olive oil and say, you've destroyed it. Except you're going to just stir fry. You know what I mean by stir frying? Just like less than a minute, you're done. Maybe you want to stir fry your veggies or something. That is when you can even use this. Or pancakes that will get ready in 2 minutes. That is fine. But if you're going to cook, real cook, stew, soup, you are killing those oil. They are called essential oil. And there is also something about this oil called canola oil that sounds very healthy. There is nothing like, there is no plant like canola. Canola means Canadian oil. Let me not break your heart, but that is the truth. Canadian oil is a story for another day, but it's not healthy. I just want you to know that canola oil imported foreign is not better than the soya oil we have in Nigeria. It's not better than the palm oil, especially when you have palm oil that is not solid at room temperature. Good healthy palm oil rich in vitamins. Canola oil is not better than that. Canola oil is not better than our real cooling oil, groundnut oil, real extracted from groundnut, unadulterated, just good oil. So I don't want to start promoting any oil to say you should use this or use that. The point I want to make here is that yes, we have the excellent oil, we have the very good ones, we have the ones that have low saturated fats, we have the ones that are rich in monounsaturated fat. But if your major concern is cholesterol, good cholesterol, then I will advise you just take your oil in moderation. If you really want to get deep on the type of oil, is a topic for another day. So one point I want to make for you to balance your cholesterol level is use oil in moderation. How moderate? 5 to 7 teaspoons maximum every day. Points clear, right? Good. Number two, avoid organ meat. I already explained in the previous note that these are rich in cholesterol, so avoid them if you can. Avoid organ meat, liver, shaki, nkwobi, pomo, kanda. Anything that is rich in fat is rich in cholesterol. Avoid them if you can. If you cannot, then eat them occasionally. Just tell yourself, I will not buy and cook this. But when I go for birthday parties and I see them, I'll eat. When I visit my friends and they give me, I will eat. So that way, you're not going to be missing them too much, but you're not eating too much. So that is something you can do. Why not cook your chicken? Look for lean beef. Fish is excellent. Fish is perfect. That is what I want you to be eating. So if you can do that, that is excellent. Then I'd like you to also try something. Try plant meat. Have you heard about plant meat? Have you heard about tofu? Okay, have you heard about awara? Let's bring you home. Awara, that is what is called in the north. It's made from soybeans. It's good. It's excellent. It's very good for you. Soybeans can even help to promote the good cholesterol and help reduce the bad cholesterol. So plant meat, you can even say, okay, I'm going to eat fish twice in a week. We have 5 days left. Then I will eat chicken twice in a week. We have 3 days left. I will eat beef once in a week. Do you understand? Then one day in a week, I will go vegetarian. I will go on a vegetarian diet. I will not eat meat. I will not eat fish. I will not take anything. Then one day in a week, I will eat plant meat. I will eat tofu. Start from there. That is one way you can help your health. Start from there. Tofu. And if you're wondering where you can get that from, you have nothing to worry about. We are food experts. So apart from educating and teaching people, we are inventing. We have labs where we think of something and we work towards that. to make it, because Michelle, if you tell me to eat plant meat and to go about the whole process of soaking my soybeans, processing it, I will not eat it. So the only way I can eat these things is if I have ready to cook, ready to eat. So what we do now to reduce the stress is that we process and we keep them frozen. So when you order, all you have to do is to spice it up and bake, or spice it up and fry. If you are not overweight and you're not hypertensive, that tastes really nice. Then add it to your soup, add it to your stew. It tastes like meat, but it's not meat. So try something new. So point number 2, avoid organ meat. Eat more of lean meat, chicken, fish is excellent. Try what? Plant meat, tofu, also called awara, made from soybeans. Point number 3 is limit your intake of saturated fats. Where do you get that from? You get saturated fat from palm oil that is solid at room temperature. The fact that it's solid means that it's higher in saturated fats. Where we also get saturated fats from egusi is rich in saturated fats. Apart from egusi, we have banga soup is rich in saturated fat. Owo soup is rich in saturated fat. What else do we have? Yes, groundnut soup. Yes, these are also rich in saturated fats. Our cheese, our butters, our margarine, these are rich in saturated fats. So you should limit intake of these occasionally. And like I said, we are food experts, we are dietitians. So when we think about these problems, we think of solutions. So do you know what we have started to do now? For our granules, we have the one we call defatted granules. Because we know that the problem is in the fat, we try to remove the fat, we extract the fat, we extract the oil from the granules. So we have what? Defatted granules. So you see the science behind it. When you now use that granule paste instead of the whole granules, you're eating more of protein. The oil removed, of course not 100%, but what will be remaining should be between 5 to 10%, which is better than the whole granules. Are you getting it? Then even for egusi, do you know what we do? We also have what we call defatted egusi. We also extract the oil. Growing up, I used to see my mom do that. Yes, I used to see her do it. And when she extracts the oil from the egusi, it doesn't really taste as nice as when you cook the egusi like that. I didn't used to enjoy it. In fact, I frown when I see her pounding and extracting the oil from the egusi soup, and I tell her, "Oh, mommy, you're cooking this kind of local egusi soup." But do you know that now, as a dietitian, I appreciate what she was doing. I appreciate it because what has she done? She has reduced the amount of oil, the amount of saturated fat that will be getting into the body. So that is a smart move. Do you understand? So extracting that oil, reduce it, because there are people who say egusi is my favorite soup. What will you tell them? You either stop, you either limit, or you modify. So this is another way you can reduce bad cholesterol. Use defatted egusi to cook. You can also use tofu, awara. Do you know that we made egusi soup without egusi? And when people tasted, they were swearing and betting that this is egusi. And we said, no, you didn't eat egusi. What you ate is what we call tofu egusi. We made it from soybeans. Concept, food experts. We know the problem, we think the solution. You may want to try this. If you're not the kind of adventurous person, then what you can do is to use 50-50. You can use 50% egusi, 50% tofu egusi and cook. Or you can even try 50% defatted egusi, 50% real whole egusi. So these are things that you can do. So we remove the oil from the groundnut before we cook. We remove oil from egusi before we cook. We also cook with soybean instead of the whole egusi. What are we trying to do? We're reducing the intake of fat, reducing the intake of saturated fat to make the body not to produce cholesterol in excess. So point number 3, limit intake of saturated fat. Then limit intake of refined foods. Refined foods, white rice, white bread, pasta, pastries, cakes, chin chin. Now, you may be wondering, this is not fat. Why should that be a problem? The explanation is scientific. I don't want to go into details, but yes, refined foods will make the body to produce cholesterol. So I'm not saying you should even take it out entirely from your food. These things taste really nice. I must tell you the truth. They taste really nice, but don't take them out completely, not 100%, but reduce intake. Try to replace them with healthy whole foods. Have you tried millet? Have you tried finger millet? Tamba. It's a very healthy, nutritious food, whole for that matter. So instead of you to make custard, instead of making custard, you can try tamba. Instead of eating just refined rice, try acha, fonio. Instead of making pancakes with refined wheat flour, try your pancakes from millet. Try your pancakes from millet, your pancakes from acha flour. We posted the recipe of acha. Nobody said anything. Now imagine Mr. A making pancake from refined wheat flour, Mr. B making pancake from acha flour. Who has gotten more fiber? Mr. B has gotten fiber. Who has gotten more vitamins and minerals? Mr. B, of course. So try these healthy foods. Add them to your diet. So point number 4, limit intake of refined foods and too much sugars. Avoid too much egg yolks. I already said that. If you're going to eat more than one or two, take out the yolks in the second and in the third to enjoy your eggs with little yolk. Then this point has nothing to do with food, but it's very important if you're going to have normal healthy levels of cholesterol. Exercise. Don't be too sedentary. Don't sit down for too long. I told you that 8 o'clock will be the time for our teaching, right? Yes, because I know that I'll not be able to exercise in the morning. I would have to exercise this evening. So I finished my exercise, had my dinner before I started this class by 8 o'clock. Be intentional. Exercise can help you lower bad cholesterol. Point number 7 is alcohol. Do not take alcohol in excess. It raises bad cholesterol. This can be a topic of another time, because now you ask me, what is excess? What is moderation? I would have to explain to you what is moderate when it has to do with alcohol. Finally, if you smoke, that increases bad cholesterol. You may want to consider quitting, stopping. If you need help, we are here to guide you on how you can reduce or stop smoking entirely. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.